Hey, my name's Tina. I am a Scout and Cellar independent wine consultant, and I am the featured vendor for February, and I'm really excited to be here and talk to you about wine. So we're going to talk about a couple things today. We're going to talk about Scout and Cellar, what makes Scout and Cellar wine different from other wines, maybe talk about what's in the wine that you're currently drinking that a lot of people don't know, which I know has started Scout and Cellar and myself personally down this journey of drinking almost exclusively Scout and Cellar wine. And then we're also going to go into, for those of you who are interested, how do you get to enjoy Scout and Cellar wine? So Scout and Cellar is a very young company, only about 4 years old. Was started by a woman named Sarah Shadnix, who was a wine curator out in California for some tech companies. And as part of her job, she started experiencing some adverse health conditions when she was drinking wine. And that led her to start looking into what exactly is in wine. And is there anything in wine that we don't know is there? And it turns out the answer is yes. So she started Scout and Cellar. She's pioneering what she has trademarked as the clean crafted wine movement. And we'll go into a little bit about what that means and the wines itself. The wine is delivered to your door. It's sold exclusively through wine consultants. You cannot get it in your local liquor store, and which is great because each of the wines has a story. All of the names of the bottles themselves and the brands, they all have stories that are all have meaning to Sarah and to her family, and then we as the consultants are the conveyors of those stories to people and about the wines and where they came from. So I hope you enjoy the series. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about clean crafted. What is clean crafted wine? So Scout and Cellar sources grapes from all over the world. So if you like grapes from Chile or Oregon or California, we do get grapes from all over the world, and we are getting them from organic growers and also small farmers and who practice clean crafted practices. So what are some clean crafted practices? So a couple things to note is Scout and Cellar grapes are picked at night. And the reason they're picked at night is because if you pick grapes during the day and the sun is beating down on the grapes that have already been picked, when juice comes out of the grapes, the sun hits it, bacteria can form. What that results in is when the grapes get inside, winemakers, mass-produced winemakers will be adding chemicals to that wine in order to kill the bacteria. Scout and Cellar picks the grapes at night. That way the sun isn't hitting the grapes and the bacteria isn't forming, and there is no need to have to add the chemicals to eradicate it. Another practice is hand picking grapes. So they're hand picked. So they are the pickers are looking at the grapes to make sure that only the best grapes are growing in. Again, by doing that, you avoid having to add certain things to the wine later to compensate for maybe some bad grapes getting in. So those are some clean crafted practices. They also have studied the bottle shape of the bottles to make sure that they are more eco-friendly. The corks that Scout and Cellar uses are compostable. All of the packaging that you get with your wine club and other wine is all curbside recyclable as well. So a sustainably oriented company. And so in the next segment, we're going to talk about what is actually in your wine, and maybe some of these things you don't know. So now we're going to talk about what is in your wine, or in the case of Scout and Cellar, what is not in the wine. So there are over 250 chemicals that the FDA has approved to be put into your wine. In addition, up to 15 grams of sugar can be put into your wine as well. I'm not sure that everybody knows that. Scout and Cellar has absolutely no added sugar. That doesn't mean that it's sugar-free, because as part of the fermentation process, residual sugar is a byproduct of the fermentation process. So there will be some sugar, But Scout & Cellar does not add any additional sugar, which a lot of winemakers do. And you don't know it because it's not on the label. There are a lot of things that are not in the label. Wine labels are not governed by the FDA. They're actually governed by the Department of Treasury. It goes back to paying for the Revolutionary War. Actually, it's a tax thing. So the only thing you're going to really see on your label is that it has sulfites that you shouldn't drink when you're pregnant, and that how much alcohol, the alcohol content of the wine. But they're not going to tell you if they've added sugar. They're not going to tell you if they've added other chemicals. They also are not going to tell you necessarily if your wine is vegan. So there are very common practices in winemaking, particularly binding agents. So when you're trying to get some sediment out of the wine, winemakers use things like eggs, milk, and if you can believe it, fish bladders. They make good binding agents and they put them in the wine to get sediment out. All of Scout & Cellar's wine is vegan. So absolutely no added sugar, absolutely no chemicals or additives in the wine, and very minimal sulfites. So in the US, you're allowed 350 parts per million of sulfites. In the EU, I think it's 210. And Scout & Cellar, all of the wines have between 50 and 100 parts per million. The majority have less than 50, so far, far fewer sulfites than you would find in mass-produced wine. So for me, the big draw was it's cleaner. It tastes cleaner. I personally feel clearer when I drink it. And recently I had this experience where I had one glass of wine and found my teeth just covered in this purple gook, which I think is mega purple, which is a very common additive in red wine to enhance the color and the flavor of the wine. So the big, clean crafted, what you're going to find is grapes and minimal sulfites, and that's what's in the bottle. So next we're going to go into how do you get Scout & Cellar wine. Hey there, so now we're going to talk about how do you get Scout & Cellar wine. So as I mentioned, Scout & Cellar is not sold in retail stores. It is sold through consultants. So at the end of this, I'll put the link in the video of how you can link to get Scout & Cellar wine. You can order it a la carte. The nice thing about our website is that you can search on things that you like. You can search by varietal. So Cabernet, Pinot, Chardonnay, the kind of grape that you like. You can search by region. I like wines from Oregon. I like wines from Spain. You can search by what flavor profile you like. Do you like something earthy or fruity? Do you like something bold? What are your flavor profiles that you like? So there's all these ways to search and order a la carte any wine that you want. Free shipping on anything over $99, and there's volume discounts as well at 6 and 12 bottles. Scout & Cellar's always running some nice sales. We always have nice gift boxes, so we have a great Valentine's Day box coming up. All the boxes have free shipping. Over the holidays, we had some great holiday gifts as well. So you can always order a la carte. You can have a tasting. So you can, in this time of COVID, we have mastered the virtual tasting. When the world starts opening up again, then we have in-person tasting. So I bring the wine, you bring the friends, and we have try a bunch of different varietals, the ones that you and your friends like, and then expose people to the Scout & Cellar flavor. Another way to get Scout & Cellar is through a wine club. So there are a lot of wine clubs out there, but I personally feel like Scout & Cellar's is one of the best. The first reason is it's very flexible. You can get either monthly, bi-monthly, or quarterly. You can get all red, all white, or mixed, and the number of bottles can vary. You could get 4, 6, or 12. There's no commitment. You can sign up and stop a couple months later. You're not signing up for a whole year. Free shipping on all of your wine clubs. It's great if you want to try something new. All of your wines are curated by Scout and Cellar. So unlike some wine clubs, there is a person at Scout and Cellar who's actually putting the wines together for you in the box. There's also, they have a great chat function and customer service. So if you have an issue, all of our wines are guaranteed. So if you don't like something, you just let me know and I'll take care of that. But if you on your own want to go and if you have an issue, it's very easy to reach customer service, reach a real person who can help you with your with any concern that you have. The other nice thing about our wine clubs, with some wine clubs, you don't necessarily see those wines again. So with Scout and Cellar, these are our brands that are going into your box. So if you I've got it at Nico Chardonnay right here. If it comes in your wine club and you want more of it, then you tell me, and you go on the website and you order some yourself. As part of the wine club too, you get access to some exclusive wines that are smaller inventory that you can access. So I love the wine club. I do the wine club primarily because I like trying all the different wines and sharing them with my friends. So that is how you get access to Scout and Cellar wine. And also, if anyone's ever interested in learning more about a consultant, then let me know as well. I know for me, this journey with Scout and Cellar has been great. I have learned a lot. I've learned a lot about wine. I used to really not know what I like, and now I do, which is another benefit of getting wine through a company like this. There's always a person to talk to. I have a lot of customers who say, I don't really know what I like. Well, let's talk about it. Tell me about a wine that you like, and I'll tell you about one that's comparable that we have. I've started this video series with my daughter as part of this, so we could educate ourselves. And you can see us either on Instagram or on YouTube or on our Facebook page. We put out a video every week, and we try to answer questions that people have. So anything from what's an appellation, to what's a varietal, to what's the difference between champagne and sparkling wine. We have done dozens of videos, just a few minutes in length, to help educate ourselves and others about wine, because it's a ton of fun. It's a great company, a great product. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for your time.